Hey guys, it's the Rideshare Chaplain, and I'm doing a part two on should Uber drivers be armed, because I feel like I need to do y'all. I need to be give y'all a little more information that I like to share from my experience from being in law enforcement for over 20 years, um, and to try to keep you from getting yourself in a bad situation. So I thought I would go ahead, and I have to tell you, I did stay home sick one more day. I just ain't quite over it yet, so I'm resting. So anyway, I thought about it. I had a guy who sent me a message and said that he didn't need to have a gun because when he Ubered, because he had pepper spray, and if somebody attacked him, he would get out of the car and not be aggressive. Get out the car, get his keys, and walk away, and uh, have an extra phone and dial 911 and wait for the police. Well, that may not work. Uh, that may not work for a lot of reasons. First of all, pepper spray does not work very well on people who are on drugs, and so I've got some examples here. Some weapons that you shouldn't carry because you can get arrested. Certain things you can't carry, like brass knuckles, butterfly knives. Those are considered, in most states, those are considered illegal weapons. So I'm going to show you what you can't carry, but I'm also going to show you some things that you can safely carry. And the one advantage of having a concealed weapon permit is that if your state allows you to carry and you go through the process of getting a concealed weapon permit, then you're duly protected, even though you're going against Uber policy. I want you to understand that. And if you carry a gun and there's an incident, you're probably going to get deactivated. But at least you'll live to tell the story. Okay? And I'm gonna reemphasize that you should not carry a weapon if you're not trained. Okay? It's not about just going to the store and buying a gun. You need to train. And so I thought of some, in law enforcement, they teach you when you go to police academy, they have something called the use of force continuum. Okay, they call it, where you take stages and you go up. And the disadvantage that we have as just regular citizens is, you can't do the same thing a police officer does. For example, so I had one guy tell me he carries a billy club. Okay, this would be considered a deadly weapon. This could get you locked up. Okay, it's not legal in most states for citizens to arm themselves with a billy club. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but even officers have to have special training to carry this and to use this. And on the force continuum, this is probably the one I used this years ago. And this is probably on the scale a 2, okay? And then there's something that's called, some of you say you carry mace. Well, pepper spray is good, but most of the people that you're going to be dealing with, especially late at night, if they're going to act crazy, they're either high on drugs or high on alcohol. And a lot of times pepper spray doesn't work, okay? It's not effective against somebody on meth or cocaine, sometimes even alcohol. Some people, be honest with you, so you might be carrying somebody who's a felon, who's been locked up a few times, and they may have been desensitized to pepper spray to a point where it doesn't affect them that much, where they've gotten used to it. So, there are pepper spray guns. Like, this is a very good one. What this has 2 shots of pepper spray, okay? And so it's like a gun. You would push your finger through here, and you have 2 shots, okay? And as long as you hit them somewhere in the upper body, enter for the center of mass, hit the upper body, then the chemical will rise up to their face. Now, any kind of weapon that you have is a defensive weapon. And so you do want to de-escalate if at all possible. You don't want to be going out there trying to be Clint Eastwood, or you know what I'm saying, or Bruce Willis, or whatever the case might be. You want to exercise restraint, and these are last resorts. And the idea is to get away, okay? And so I like the one part of the comment the guy says, don't engage anybody. If you can possibly not engage, but if they engage you and they start putting hands on you, then you have no choice but to defend yourself. Now, pepper spray, like on the use of force continuum. If I'm fighting somebody and I'm gonna try first. I'm gonna try using pepper spray. I might, and if it don't work, then I'm gonna go to this. And if this don't work and they still coming after me, at that point it may be time to exercise deadly force, depending on the circumstances. Okay, whatever you do, you're gonna have to be able to justify it, and that you were defending yourself. And so, I do carry mace, and it has 2 shots. And if someone attack, I have 2. That means I have 2 opportunities to use this. But if this doesn't stop them, okay, I'm no longer an officer on the street, so I don't carry this. Okay, this can get you locked up. All right, I'm just telling you. All right, you're not in a position that. Another one that can get you locked up, okay, is this, a knife. And I'm gonna tell you about knives. Okay, this would be considered a concealed weapon. Okay, and this will get you locked up. If you're using this in an altercation, you're gonna go to jail. Okay, and it doesn't matter that you were who attacked who. This could be considered a concealed weapon. So don't carry this on the street. Okay, and especially if you use it in a adversarial situation. And let me tell you something. Somebody that knows how to use a knife can be more deadly than a gun. So goes back to my argument again that, if you're out there late at night, you might want to just make sure you can protect yourself. Okay, I'm not telling you to arm yourself with a pistol or a gun, and I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you that it's against Uber policy, and you need to be careful what you do. And like I said, discretion. If you do decide to be armed, don't show your gun to anybody. Don't be flashing it. Make sure you're discreet. Also, don't go down there and pick a cannon. You pick something that's concealable and that you have practiced with and that you're effective with. Because no gun is going to do you any good if, number one, if you miss your target, okay? Or number two, if it gets wrestled from you, okay? So you need to learn about distance and all that, because then they could use it on you. And so, like I said, if you ever have to pull a weapon, you need to be prepared to use it. If you ain't prepared to use it, don't pull a weapon, okay? Here's a neat little, so this would be okay, because this is just mace for self-defense. You can get away with this as long as you can justify your use of force on that person. That person, you were in fear of your life and you were trying to get away, okay? And again, I'm not a lawyer, so that's my disclaimer. I'm just giving you some ideas that, little things like this can help protect you. But you do everything you can to avoid an altercation, to try to, we call it verbal judo in law enforcement, to talk things down, and distance yourself and all like that. But if they're coming after you, okay, and if you spray somebody with pepper spray and they on drugs, they're just going to get mad. You just need to be prepared for a phase 2. You spray them and they still coming and it had no effect on them and they just wipe it off like it's water. And now they're pissed at you and they're coming at you. You got to have a plan B, okay? In my opinion, if I'm defending myself and somebody attacks me and I'm trying to get away and I tell them I'm in fear of my life, back away, leave me alone, back away, and they don't. And like I say, cameras, very important. If you got this thing recording going on, and if you got the camera that has the front of the car and the inside of the car, then you're even better off. But if the guy's coming after you and you try to pepper spray and they keep coming, then I would say that you tried to stop him with a pepper spray, then once this is empty, if you shot this twice, this is no more good. Just drop it. It's no good, okay? Once you spray this 2 times, you got to get a new one, okay? But this stuff in here is no joke, okay? And it will, normal people, it'll stop. But if a person's on high on meth or cocaine or some other drug, or they're just crazy out of their mind, then this might just make them mad, okay? So, so just understand that you go from this to the, and I'm not going to show it, but the next thing would be, the weapon, the handgun, if you had one, to defend yourself. Okay. And in my book, that would justify, especially if they're attacking you and you tried to use pepper spray and they still coming after you and you use deadly force. Hey, you did everything you could. You fear your life. Remember that. You always fear your life. Okay. And I pray none of y'all ever have to use any of these things. But there's another neat little thing, because we are close quarters, right? You're in the front seat. You might have a guy, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't like people sitting up next to me. I just don't like it. Now, when there's 4 of them, I have no choice. The person comes and sits up here, okay? But I'm sitting there in my car on the side, okay? I have something called a Schminkner. That's German for sneaker, sneak, to hide, right? Schminkner comes from Germany. And the Schminkner is an ink pen. Oh, this is an ink pen. This is an ink pen, but it's really a weapon. And what it has, it's also a pen, so I have this is right down in the pocket, right next to my seat, and I can just grab it. And as soon as I grab it with my left hand, I got a weapon. This is a glass cutter. This thing will cut you, okay? It's very sharp on the tip, okay? I'll see if I can show it to you. I don't know. It's real sharp, and that will hurt you. And, if somebody grabs you and you're trying to get out the car and you get them in the neck, right here, wherever you can make contact with skin behind the ear, okay? They'll and you inflict some pain with this thing, they're going to back off, okay? They're going to back off, and then you can pop the door and, and retreat, okay? I always take my seatbelt off when I first pick up a passenger because I don't know what's going to happen. I just got this habit that when I pull up, I undo my seatbelt, and I crack my window, and I said, who is your driver? Can you tell me you're looking for an Uber? Who's your driver? And they tell you the driver's name. And I say, how many in your party? And they tell me, oh, it's 2 people, 3 people, whatever. Okay. Then I open the door. And then after they get in the car and they've told me who the driver is, which I really don't like that, say my name, because it's annoying. All right. What I really would like is for Uber to identify the people and put their pictures up so that we can see them. But we know they don't care about the driver, so they're not going to do that. So another way I confirm it, I say, can you confirm the address you're going? Well, I put it in the app. Yeah, you do. You put it in the app. I just always check, because sometimes, people make mistakes and computers aren't perfect. And so, sir, can you just confirm where we're going? And if they don't want to do that, that's an indication they're going to be a problem. Cancel. See you later, alligator. Collect my $375 and I'm gone. Okay? Going to get out my car at this point, because I know this is going to be a bad trip. So I've only had one person give me an attitude when I said, can you please confirm where you're going? And I do that before I hit, because they'll look over your shoulder and read your phone, right? So I'll say, sir, can you confirm where you're going? And I've only had one person not like it. The majority say, hey, man, that's pretty smart that you would ask that. I appreciate you asking that, because that way we don't accidentally be going to the wrong address or whatever, okay? But this little thing here, it's also a Kubotan, and you can actually, I would encourage you to take some self-defense classes, just basic self-defense. One of the easy martial arts for older people is called Tai Chi, and they have a martial art called Kichan, which is, Kichan is a very slow moving. You've seen the Asian people, and they move real slow, and they move with the hands and all like that. See, I do that. I go to that. I do that once a week, and to try to stay, first of all, as you get older, it helps you with your flexibility. The number one thing that causes seniors to get hurt is lack of balance, losing their balance. And so, guys, when you start getting up in age, like I'm 65, you need to make sure you're drinking water, you're getting the proper amount of sleep and all like that. But you also need to stay flexible. And if you don't exercise, your body will get stiff, okay? And guys, we sit under the wheel sometimes 9, 10, 11, 12 hours driving for Uber. you get stiff. So you got to exercise, man. You got to get out of that car every hour and move around a little bit. And I do little Keichon stretches. And one day I might get the nerve to do a couple of exercises for you. But look up the Tai Chi. It's a good exercise. It's also, it moves slow, and it causes you to stretch your muscles. It helps you with your balance. And some people combine yoga with that, which is very good because it helps you with your balance and it helps you with your flexibility. Okay. And like I said, you get people go out here and buy a gun and they stiff as a board and have no flexibility and no dexterity, and they end up getting the gun taken from them. And the gun they had that was supposed to be there for their defense, they end up getting killed with their own gun. Okay. And so what I'm saying is a gun don't guarantee you safety. So you have to take several measures. Self-defense. You need to learn a little bit of self-defense. Just enough to get away. If somebody grabs you, just enough to get away. Learn verbal judo, which is how to talk. That's how to de-escalate. Okay. When you talk to people. But there are going to be those times. There's always those times. There's always that one, okay, who's not going to de-escalate. And like I say, the pepper spray, yeah, okay. You can spray the person and then you get out the car and then you're going to go stand there and wait. Now, that's good if they get out and run. But what if they get out of the car and come after you? And all you did, the pepper spray didn't affect them. And you have no other option, okay, to turn to. You done sprayed your pepper spray and now the guy's coming after you and he's fighting you and you have no way to stop him. Now, here's my theory. You got pepper spray. You de-escalated. You got out of the car. He kept coming at you, or as you were getting out of the car, he tried to grab you. So you popped him with the pepper spray. That, it will cause them to stop for a second, but you got to move quick. And any kind of self-defense you do, you need to practice. Get out of the car. And then with this particular pepper spray, you got 2 shots. Okay? So you done shot him once. And he's coming towards you, and he's not having an effect. And then you shoot him again, it's still not having an effect, and you backing up. At that point, you're in trouble if you don't have another form of self-defense. Now, in my view, at that point, it's not an Uber issue because you out of the car. This dude done grabbed you, all right? And if you legally in your state and you have a concealed weapon permit, you've already tried to defend yourself with mace, and now he's coming after you and trying to grab. He's already tried to grab you once, and you happen to have a weapon, and you pull your gun, and you got a concealed weapon permit. You holler, "I'm in fear for my life. Stop. Leave me alone. Stop." And you holler out loud, "Leave me alone. Stop. Somebody call the police." And you say that out loud, and then he's still coming after you, and you shoot him. Self-defense. Okay? Self-defense. But anytime you pull a weapon, you're going to need self-defense. And if you're going to carry a weapon, guys, listen. And nobody rich. I'm not rich. Well, maybe some of you are rich and you just drive Uber for fun. But I'm going to look this up real quick because I meant to do this before I started the video. But if you're going to carry a weapon, then you need to invest in liability for the weapon, insurance. And I think it's called, let me see, U.S. Let's see, insurance. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. All right. Okay, hold on. Well, concealed carry. Gun insurance. There we go. I think this might be it. All right, there's several companies out there. You can find companies that will give you insurance if you have to use deadly force. think this is it. Here it is. Okay, here it is. I found it. Okay, the company is called USCCA, and you can go to their website, and they offer several plans of protection. Okay, and what that will do for you, when you join, they have several levels. You join, it's like $300 a year, and it covers everything. If you get in a shooting, okay, if you use your gun for self-defense, you don't have to, when the police get there, you ask to make a legal phone call. You call these folks, they immediately have a lawyer respond and take care of you in that situation, okay? They also post your bail and get you out in case they don't put you in jail and all like that. And their website, just Google USCCA, okay? Their slogan is gun owners should not have to worry about the consequences of a self-defense shooting, okay? And they provide the best legal counsel. As soon as you call, there's somebody on that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to talk to you, and they get a lawyer in touch with you like that handles those kind of situations, and they get the bail started for you. They will post your bail and get you out of jail, because most of us ain't gonna have money sitting around to post bail. A lot of jurisdictions will lock you up and take you to jail, even though you were justified in the shooting in the beginning. Okay? But I don't want anybody to have the perception that this young man that sent me this text said that, well, I carry pepper spray and there's no need for a gun because I'll shoot them with the pepper spray and just get out of my car and retreat and wait for the police. Well, that's in a perfect world. And I hope that works for you. But if the person's on drugs, if the person has a mental disorder and they have an anger issue or whatever, and they've already tried to grab you and you sprayed them with the spray, and now you out of the car, okay? And another scenario, you get out the car and you didn't get a chance to pull your keys out, okay? What's stopping him from getting in the front seat and using that weapon, that car as a weapon, and aiming it at you and coming at you with that car, and you have no way to defend yourself if all you got is pepper spray? But if you got a gun and you know how to use it, you can eliminate the threat pretty quickly, okay? And and somebody will say, well, wait a minute, rideshare chaplain, you're a chaplain. How can you justify taking somebody's life and and that's murder? No, that's not murder, okay? The Bible does say, the Bible tells us that those in authority, they don't bear the sword in vain, okay? And God has authorized self-defense, okay? He expects us, we turn the other cheek. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I turned the other cheek when I didn't turn around and try to take your head off your shoulders because you grabbed me, okay? And so now I don't already turn the other cheek because I'm telling you to stop. The Bible says turn the other cheek. It didn't say turn both cheeks, okay? You have to defend yourself. God doesn't expect you to sit there and be beat to a pulp or be murdered or let your family be murdered, okay? For self-defense purposes, sometimes evil has to be stopped. That's why he ordained authority. And if your city or your town has confidence in you and you went and you got a permit and they did a background check and found you fit and you went through training and found you fit to carry a concealed weapon, then you are entitled to protect yourself, okay? And so don't just go out there relying on pepper spray. I was really concerned for that guy because he'll get his behind cut because he'll one day get in a situation and somebody will he'll pull pepper spray. And the other thing is, okay, you spray them, what if they got a gun? And you don't have one. So there's all kinds of reasons why that's a bad idea. I agree with the part about de-escalating. Absolutely. Do everything you can to de-escalate and get away from the threat. Okay, another thing I recommend is carry an extra phone that's set to dial 911. So when you get out, you hit the button, dial 911, and leave it on. Because guess what? When you call 911 and your phone is on, everything is being recorded, and you didn't already ask for help, and they can trace where you are, and they can hear everything, and you're hollering out, hey, I'm a fear of my life, stop, leave me alone, back away from me, stop, and you pull your gun and shoot them, hey, it's all on tape. Everything's being recorded. So you need to think judiciously, but don't go out there carrying a knife, because this will get you locked up, okay? It's not a good self-defense thing. This is not for you. If you're a police officer, yeah, but if you're not a police officer, deputy sheriff or something like that, you get caught with this in an altercation, they're gonna put you in jail. Okay. My advice to you: this here, and these are your two safe options if you choose not to carry a gun. These are safe options. This can go in your upper pocket just like a regular pen, or like you say in my case, I have two. I have one in my pocket that's on the clip, that's on the side of my inside of my pants pocket, that I can pull out, and I got another one in the car down in the door, and as I open that door, I can just grab it, and now I've got a weapon. Okay. And there's other things. If you go take Tai Chi and all, they'll teach you how to use this thing, putting pressure on this wrist and using that as a defense mechanism to bring a person to the ground. Okay. There are techniques you can learn how to do that. But what you really want to know is you want to stop the threat and get away as quickly as possible. Okay. So I'm not saying that mace is bad. It's good to have, but you need to have something else to back up the mace, because mace don't work on everybody, y'all. That's a false sense of security. Okay. The best weapon you got is common sense. The best weapon you got is being aware of your surroundings. Now, for me, I don't drive at night. I used to when I first started Uber, and I said, and I've discovered I can make the same amount of money during the day that I make at night. And so I said it just wasn't worth it to me. So I drive the airport. Now I will drive the airport at night. I'll go to the airport and I'll run back and forth to that airport until the last plane comes in, and I drop people off, and then when I get where I'm going, I cut my app off and go back to the airport. But there are areas I don't go in at night because it's just not safe. And you got to use your common sense, okay? And even in the daytime, you got to be aware of your surroundings, aware of what people are doing. Watch people's hands. Their looks can't kill you, their hands can. So always watch their hands. Learn to be, kind of size people up before they even get in your car. And if you ever pull up and the dudes look shaky, or they're in a shaky area, you drive away and cancel that trip. If you're not comfortable, if something's telling you in your gut this is not cool, then just cancel it. And I've done that. I've called Uber and said, hey, y'all sent me to this place. I went on a call one night and I was working, and I normally don't work at night, but I was trying to get some money. And I ended up in one of the bad section of my town. And I got to this house, and they had the door of this house open. They wanted me to come down this driveway. It was pitch dark, and I could see they were moving stuff out and putting it in sheets. And they were telling me to come on down. And it looked like, guess what? It was a house robbery. They were burglarizing a house. They called an Uber. They called an Uber to come down there to put the stuff in the truck and to take them where they were going. See, that's how crazy some of these criminals are, right? And so now some of y'all would have just drove on down there because you were just thinking about the pickup of the money. But when I sized it up quickly, and I ended up leaving there and calling police, turns out the guys were committing a burglary. Okay, so word to the wise: if you're gonna be out there at night, you better be on your game. Okay, be sharp. And then you have to size up what's worth it. Is it worth it? Because the truth is, guys, Uber don't care about our safety. They give you that little button on there, you push 911. By the time that goes through there, that's just something for them to say they did something. Because that's got to go through dispatch and all that. You quicker to just dial 911 yourself. Okay? I'll say, okay, Google, and then tell them to dial 911, right? Because other than that, it's a joke. Okay? They don't care about us, guys. You got to think about your own safety. You want to go home every day to your family. You want, all we're out there to do is make a few dollars. And some of these passengers, you know, I'll tell you, Uber X, and now they're doing away with Uber Select. And you guys that got the expensive cars, I think they just kind of pulled the rug out from under y'all. I don't think that was right. As of July 31st, if you haven't heard it, then the Uber is doing away with the Uber Select. So you that got the expensive cars, you've been screwed, basically. Okay, if you bought that expensive car to do Uber, because you're going to end up driving an expensive car doing X. So what is that telling us, guys? You know, we could wake up tomorrow and Uber could be gone. But you know what? Most of the guys I have met that do Uber and Lyft are good people just trying to make a few extra dollars to take care of their family. And I've met some of the nicest people, and rideshare people are some of the nicest people that I've ever met. They just, the majority are good people. They're trying to make their way. And, you know, we just out trying to make a few dollars. And the people, they're so disrespectful, man. People are so hateful. And they do things, and now with Uber cutting their rates, it's becoming less and less worth it to be out there. But if you're going to be out there, you know, protect yourself. Don't go out there and put your life out there for Uber for $2.99 fee, or $2 fee, or $10, or $20 even. Okay, because the bottom line is, if something happens to you, they're just going to keep on making money, and they're going to just move on, and they're not going to do a thing for you. Okay, they're all about themselves, and all the policies, they taking care of the passengers. They don't care about us. So what I'm telling you, you have to care about yourself. You have to have your own defense plan. You have to follow your conscience when it comes to self-defense. Okay, but the few things, please listen to me. Check your laws about carrying this kind of stuff, because in most states this is illegal for the average citizen to carry around in their car. It's considered a deadly weapon. Okay, but isn't it funny? You can go get a permit for a handgun and be legal. You can carry mace and be legal. Okay, now tasers, I'm gonna tell you, you know, unless you've been trained to use a taser, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. There have been police officers who have misused tasers, have gone to prison because they misused their taser. Okay, and taser requires a certain amount of training, and if you're willing to go to a class and get trained and certified in the use of a taser, and you're willing to invest in that, then that's an option. But again, there are people on drugs who don't get affected by the taser, will keep coming after you. Okay, that's why law enforcement has something they teach called the force continuum. Okay, where they move up from one weapon to the other, depending on the severity. Sometimes you go straight deadly force. Sometimes you have no choice. If a person has a gun and they pull a gun, you have no choice but to pull a gun. Or if they come at you with a knife, I mean, I'm not going to try to fight you with a knife with the stick. You pull a knife, I'm going to pull a gun. Okay? All right? So understand, guys, this is no joke out here. Okay? And criminals have no conscience. Okay? I work in the system, man. These guys, they don't care about you, man. They don't care about your wife. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about you. Okay? They will take your life and go down and sit, and they will go to a bar, sit down and have a beer and order French fries. All right? They don't care. Okay? They have no conscience. Okay? Most of the guys that I'm talking about, they are cold-blooded. They're reprobate in the head. Okay? And they have a criminal mentality, and they could care less about you. Okay? They'll take you out in a heartbeat. Don't think you're dealing with people that's going to be considerate. There's an element out there that they just don't care about anybody but themselves. And they will kill you and then look in your wallet, get your address, and drive to your house and break in your house and kill your family. Listen, I'm telling you, be careful out there. Ubering is not for everybody. Ubering is no joke. I see a lot of ladies out there Ubering, and I watch you Ubering at night. Listen, it's dangerous, okay? Ladies, you need to be prepared to defend yourself. And I'm not trying to put out their fear. I'm just giving you some stuff to think about, okay? Self-defense. Be aware. You know, if you're aware of your surroundings and follow your instincts, You know, me being a Christian, I'm relying on the Holy Spirit to guide me. And sometimes, you know, someone say, "Oh, don't take that one. Take this one. Don't take that one." And I've pulled up a few times, and I didn't feel good about it. I didn't like the scenario. In the corner in the dark, 3 dudes standing there, and they telling me to come over there in the dark, and I'm sitting there. All they got to do is walk to the corner. Guess what? They walking. Pat and Charlie can get them home. Cancel. I'm gone. Okay, because you got to be wise, especially in certain parts of town. Okay, now there's certain areas that everybody knows good. The airport usually is safe. Well, it's safe unless you. My last trip, I was really sick. I was saying, man, I hope I didn't get this virus from China. That last ride I took, it was Wednesday the 22nd. I looked it up on my phone, and it was a day later. I was sick, and I was like, man, but it was just a coincidence. I don't have the C virus, whatever it's called, coronavirus or whatever it is. But what I'm saying to you is, listen, Ubering is a dangerous game for us. Okay. I think there are things that Uber could do to help improve safety for us. I mean, you know, that little app on there that says your family can know where you always are. You know, what's that for? So they can find your body? Because half the time it don't work. My wife tells me, she says, half the time it show you ain't moved. I thinking you in one place, you know, and you over in Mount Pleasant. It's saying you at the airport. I said, baby, I ain't been to the airport since 3 hours ago. So sometimes that don't even work right. That's all that stuff they're doing, they did to show the public. See, we doing something to help the drivers. We're doing something for safety. And guys, they don't care about us, okay? So you got to care about yourself. I hope some of these things that I've shown you, said to you, and you're going to do what you want to do. I mean, it's America. But I'm telling you, you'd be smart to look up the laws as it pertains to carrying this, a billy club, for this, carrying a knife for self-defense, not a good idea. Okay, something like this is safe. Now, this came from Germany. Okay, it's called Schminkner, and this is the box it comes in, and it's a pen. You know, I use it as a pen. See, here's the refills, and even the refills look like weapons if you look at them. So it's made to be a pen, but it's also made to be a weapon. If you need a self-defense weapon, you can inflict enough pain with this to get away. You can cut a man. This thing will break glass. So imagine what it'll do to the person's face. You can cut a person wide open with this. You know, they grab you, and slice them with it, man. Hard, hold on to it tight, hard, and then just get out of that car. Okay. But like I said, some of the safety things you could do is I always undo my seatbelt when I pull up on a pickup. And I got that thing, because if you get into a situation, somebody jumps in and you need to get out quick, and you got the seatbelt on and you're trying to get that off. So think safety first. Okay? So I always take that off, and then after they confirm and they get in the car and I feel good about them and I start driving, then I put the seatbelt on. Because I don't know what I'm dealing with. You know, I try to size people up, and that's called street survival. Okay, so strive to survive out there. Don't just trust everybody, because there's some bad people out there, right? And so for me, I'm looking for options, because I think Uber is going to go away. I think Uber is going to leave the drivers high and dry, and I don't think they'll have a conscience. I don't think they have a conscience. I think one day we're going to wake up, and Uber and Lyft will be no more. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but you need to start coming up with your alternative game plan, because I'm telling you, I think it's coming. All right? I don't know when. They're already doing away with Select. What's to say they won't announce as of such and such date we will no longer be providing drive share services? And you've made no plans. Okay? So have an alternative, you know. For me, I like driving. And I've been listening to the rideshare chaplain. I've been listening to the rideshare professor, and I'm going to take his school and do the limousine thing. That's me. I'm getting my license. I looked up in my state what I got to do. I'm in the process of got to get my application down to the police department and have them approve it. It's a process. They do a background check and all that. And then I get my license, and I'm going to I'm going to get a SUV. I'm going to be talking to the rideshare professor. I'm going to be getting me a SUV, and I'm going to be doing limousine service for elite customers, because we have some high-end. I've been collecting names from the Uber people I meet, executives, and I'm going to offer corporate limousine service for corporate people at the airport, picking them up at their homes, taking them wherever they need to go in the local area. And I'm going to learn how to do that because I like people, and these are good people. I won't have to worry about that. When you drive X, you don't know what you're getting. Okay? You might get Shanae in the back seat, might pull a pistol and say, give me your money. So you don't. So I'm saying to you, get your secondary plan together now, because I think the Uber is going to leave us high and dry. I don't think, it ain't going to last forever. They're having financial problems. And I think that they are going to they're going to do the autonomous vehicle thing, and they're just going to pull a rug out one day, and if you procrastinate, because, the money's good to go out there. I love the independence, man, of being able to get in my car and work a few hours. I'm approaching retirement, so, I've got an income, but I do Uber to make extra income. But I'm going to tell you guys, get yourself a secondary plan, okay? Because these jokers, they don't care about you and your safety. But if you're driving around with this in your car, or you driving around with this in your pocket, and this is considered a deadly weapon, unauthorized concealed weapon, okay? So I will tell you, be careful. Find out from your local jurisdiction what you can and can't carry for self-defense. As far as I know, this is safe. This is mace. They're going to fault you for that. This pen is self-defense. They ain't going to fault you. It's just a pen. It just happens to be made for self-defense. And I'm going to tell you, this point is no joke. If I do this hard enough, I can cut my finger. This don't play, okay? And this will break glass. You can just go like this, and the glass will shatter on a car. So it's a good thing to have. Even if you had an accident and you couldn't get the window down, you could grab this thing and you could punch the glass, and the glass will instantly shatter, all of it, and you'll be able to get out of the car. So the Schnickner, and you can look them up online. They're sold over in Germany. Cost about maybe 20 bucks, okay? And they're heavy duty. And it's a great defense weapon, okay? This and this. And if your conscience tells you, get your concealed weapon permit. But if you're going to do that, don't carry a gun until you've been trained. Get in a class. Make sure you know the laws, the use of force laws for your state. Make sure you know what you can and can't do. Join USCCA. Get that legal insurance, because it covers you, gives you, because lawyers are expensive. But if you get into a shooting where you defend yourself and you have that insurance, everything's paid for. Up to like $1 million. They take care of everything. And you pay like $300 a year. It's worth it, okay? So if you're going to carry a gun, cover yourself with USCCA, okay? Go to their website. You can put in uscca.com. It'll come up, okay? And they even offer classes. They offer magazines. They offer training online, all kinds of stuff, so that you can be legal. Okay, and they will defend you if you ever had to use a weapon in self-defense. It's good to have it, man. I'm telling you. And like and subscribe and tell me what you think. You may not agree with me, and that's fine. But I thought I'm letting you know now. If you're carrying this or you're carrying this, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Okay, get pulled over. They see this, you could have a problem. Okay, if you use it, you could have a problem. All of a sudden, this turns into a deadly weapon, even though you were defending yourself. This turns into a concealed weapon, even though you're not. And I know it sounds stupid, but mace, something like this, and a concealed weapon permit is what I would recommend. All right. God bless you. Like, subscribe, and share my channel, please, and let me know what you think. Until the next time, I'll talk to you later. And hopefully I'll be completely over this cold because I'm sick of dealing with it, and I can get back to my normal schedule. Have a great day. Bye-bye.